Hello, and welcome to English Podcast Voice. I'm Ava and this is Noah.
And today's deep dive is, well, it's different. It's unlike anything we've really tackled before.
Yeah, it's not a geopolitical analysis or a scientific paper.
Not at all.
Yeah.
We are looking at a methodology, really. The source you sent in is an instructional text called A Day in Calm English.
And it's a fascinating choice. It's not a textbook. It's, a very deliberately paced, guided text.
Right. It's all about structure, simple language, and maybe most importantly, this idea of mental calm.
Exactly. If you look at it through, say, a psychological lens, you can see this whole strategic framework for managing the anxiety that just comes with starting something big and new.
So that's really our mission today, then, to decode that methodology.
Yeah.
We want to understand how this source builds an environment that makes a huge goal, like learning English, feel not just safe, but achievable.
And then extract that blueprint, right? So you can apply it to, well, any project that might be stressing you out right now. The whole idea here is that learning isn't just about cramming in content. It's about reducing that, cognitive friction.
Creating a psychologically secure space.
Yes. Designing a path where a mistake doesn't feel like a catastrophe. It just feels temporary.
Okay, let's unpack this. And I think we have to start right where the text itself starts.
The atmosphere.
Yeah, the initial atmosphere it creates. The very first thing it says isn't learn this verb. It's a command for your body.
It is.
It says, take a deep breath, relax your shoulders. You are safe here.
And that right there, that's an immediate psychological intervention.
Yeah.
We know that when you're stressed, you go into fight or flight.
Right, and the learning part of your brain just shuts down.
The prefrontal cortex, yeah, it goes offline. So by starting with take a deep breath,
Yeah.
the source is forcing a physical response that actually counters the anxiety.
So it's not just, mood setting.
Oh no, it's a direct instruction to lower your internal threat level.
And it pairs that with the external mood. It describes the morning as quiet, the sun slowly coming up.
That whole feeling of peace, it's a deliberate contrast to the, high pressure, rushed feeling we usually get with learning something new.
So this is what you'd call, emotional anchoring.
That's a perfect way to put it, emotional anchoring. The text is intentionally tethering the act of learning to this feeling of safety.
So when you come back to it tomorrow,
You're not just remembering the hard vocabulary, you're remembering the feeling of that quiet, low-stakes effort.
that leads right into the morning routine then. You wake up, you stretch, and the text says you feel a little sleepy, but also, crucially, a little hopeful.
It normalizes that feeling right away, that little bit of struggle at the start.
And then there's this cleansing ritual. Washing your face, the cold water wakes you up.
It's a sensory signal, right?
Yep.
Reinforcing that you're moving from rest to action. But the most important part is what comes next.
The affirmation in the mirror.
Yes, the instruction to say, softly, I can learn English today.
That feels like a huge moment. It's a big investment in your own ability before you've even spent any real effort.
It is. That's the principle of self-efficacy at work.
Self-efficacy.
It's your belief in your own ability to do the thing you need to do. And if the very first thing you do is succeed at stating a positive, achievable goal,
You've given yourself a tiny win.
an immediate micro win, it helps you overcome that feeling of being paralyzed. When you look at a huge challenge like learning a whole language, you've already succeeded at task number one.
So you're forced to succeed just by opening your eyes, and that provides the emotional frame for the day. So how does that internal calm connect to the external structure?
Well, this is where we shift from the psychology to more of a behavior modeling approach.
Okay.
The source uses these really simple, low-effort daily routines as like containers for the new language. It's very
You're
strategic.
talking about making tea or coffee, eating bread or eggs.
Or maybe nothing. It validates every choice,
And the sentences are so basic. In the morning, I wake up early, I check my phone.
which is a perfect example of what we call behavioral anchoring.
Okay, explain that.
You're linking the new thing, the English sentence, to a behavior you already do automatically, like checking your phone.
So the cognitive effort is tiny.
Minimal, because the action itself is already ingrained. You're not having to make a bunch of new decisions.
I do wonder, though, this kind of simplicity, is there a risk? It's maybe too simple, that it could limit you.
That's a fair question, but I think the source sees simplicity as a strategic trade-off. It's all designed to fight what we call decision fatigue.
Right. Every choice you make drains your mental energy.
Exactly. Which word to use, which tense. So by setting the vocabulary and structure for you in these simple, clear sentences, The text minimizes those choices
And that energy you save can go into actual learning.
instead of just wrestling with the setup. And the philosophy's right there. Listen first, then repeat later. It's about repetition in a safe space, not creativity under pressure.
And that seems to carry right on through the day.
All the way through to the afternoon. It even explicitly says your body asks for rest. Rest isn't an afterthought. It's part of the routine.
It's scheduled refueling. You break for lunch, rice, vegetables, whatever. And the phrase is just, I eat lush in the afternoon.
And that pause, that moment of rest, it leads us right into what I think is the most unique and frankly the most brilliant part of this whole source.
The emotional side of things.
The constant integrated validation of how the learner is actually feeling.
Yeah, that emotional honesty is really what makes this more than just a language tool, isn't it? It acknowledges how you feel during a day of focused work.
Absolutely. It lists out all those contradictory feelings. In the morning, you might feel calm or tired or even a little worried.
And by midday, the work might feel easy or sometimes heavy.
You could feel busy, stressed,
Yeah.
even bored in the afternoon.
And the genius of it is what comes right after, the immediate validation.
That's okay. That is normal. You are human.
And then your feelings matter. It's basically giving you permission to have a tough day without calling it a failure.
Psychologically, that's crucial for reducing what's called extrinsic cognitive load. Meaning, when you're busy fighting feelings of boredom or stress, those feelings are eating up your working memory, the memory you need for the actual learning.
So by just acknowledging them.
By saying that is okay, the text helps you process that emotional friction, which frees up your mental resources for the real task.
That is a huge takeaway for anyone listening. Success isn't about being perfectly cheerful all the time.
No, it's about accepting that the tiredness, the stress, it's all part of the process. You just keep going, even if you feel heavy.
And the text gives you the language for that too, right? That midday reflection.
Yes, I am learning. I'm improving step by step.
It totally shifts the goalposts. Success isn't fluency tomorrow. It's just maintaining the process today.
It's an exercise in metacognition. You're stepping back and just observing your own journey.
And that observation is so important.
It is. You realize, I finished my tasks. Maybe not everything, but enough. I tried, and that is important. This consistent focus on effort keeps your motivation internal, it makes it less fragile.
And then, as the day winds down, the environment in the text shifts again.
Right. We move into the evening.
The sky becomes softer, the noise fades away, and that external shift reflects an internal one.
Relief. Closure. The transition from work to rest is marked by these really specific physical actions. You come home, you take off your shoes,
And you feel relief.
that act becomes a ritual. The text is literally training your brain to link taking off your shoes with leaving work mode behind.
So the actions are cues. They're signals to your body and mind that the high effort part of the day is done.
Precisely. And then you move into the wind-down routine. I drink tea in the evening. I watch TV.
And this is where the source really hammers home its core philosophy, isn't it?
It really is. Quality versus perfection. It says it right out. Your English does not need to be perfect. It needs to be real.
It's giving you permission to be imperfect, which you have to be if you're ever going to communicate.
And your victory for the day is just saying the sentence, you spoke English today.
Even if it was just a little, that matters.
It's all about acknowledging the effort, not just some final achievement.
Then you get to the final moments before sleep, those small actions, peaceful moments.
And the gentle question you ask yourself, how was my day?
Right, and it validates all the possible answers. Today was a long day, or a good day, or even today was hard.
But no matter what the answer is, you close that loop with gratitude.
Yeah.
I am thankful today.
So even on a hard day, the final thought is positive reinforcement, not beating yourself up.
Exactly. And this is the fascinating part. The final critical affirmation that closes the loop defines success, not as mastery, but simply as continuing.
Just keeping going.
The last sentence you repeat is, every day I learn a little more English. And the ultimate instruction is all about persistence inside this safe system.
You don't need to rush. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to continue.
That's it.
Wow. This has been an incredibly insightful deep dive. We started with what looked like a simple language tool.
And what we found was this powerful, psychologically engineered framework.
Yeah, it links mindfulness, routine, and this relentless emotional validation to create a system for sustainable learning.
So the final actionable summary for you listening is really this. The power of this source is in its structure.
Right.
It maps out the day-morning self-efficacy, afternoon cognitive load management, evening rituals, and it combines all that with explicit permission to feel whatever you're feeling.
Which ensures that your internal struggles don't derail the external process.
Exactly.
So what does this all mean? I guess it means the effectiveness of this whole low-pressure, routine-based approach comes from the psychological safety net it builds.
By making the start and the continuation the main goals, the big, scary endgame of fluency just sort of starts to take care of itself.
Which leads us to our final provocative thought for you to explore.
If breaking down something as complex as language into these simple daily steps works so well because it manages anxiety and focuses on small wins,
how might applying that same calm, step-by-step approach, complete with the emotional validation and the behavioral anchors, change how you tackle the most stressful project or goal in your life right now?
what is the simplest, lowest stakes success you can engineer for yourself tomorrow morning?
If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to subscribe and tell in the comments from where you are watching.